Welcome to my channel, The Three Mountains. My name is White Eagle. If you are new to the channel, please click on the logo, the White Eagle, and you will have access to all my videos, my previous videos. Today I would like to conclude the topic of sacrificing for humanity. And well, I hope you take advantage of this teaching. Okay, let's get started. I want to show you today what happened to me one morning after I woke up. Actually, I had the most incredible dream. In my dream, I was in the astral and I was floating on top of something like a big, huge wheel. And it was all rusty, and it was all, you can see here the whole wheel, but actually I could see only from the top a little bit surfacing the mud. It was all, around, there was only mud. And it was making this horrible noise, like, as it was spinning. Anyways, I want to tell you that as I was floating on top of that wheel and being very curious, a voice told me, don't get too close. You don't want to fall in there again. And then I sort of like just floated a little bit higher than normal. And the voice continued saying, it's very old and one day it will stop working completely. So for you who do not know what this is about, I will advise you to go and take a look at the Arcanum number 10 from the book of Master Samael. This is the famous Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Samsara, and it talks about retribution. And it says that the ego returns through all the 108 lives of each human being. Now, the good news is that if you arrive one day at this point, I'm talking about after working on your internal egos for 5 years, from 5 years on, you should come out of this wheel like I did myself one day. If you arrive at this point, I want you to know that 50% of your egos have been killed. So this is a great achievement along the path of the mountains, because half of your egos are dead and you have done half of the path, let us say. But of course it doesn't mean that you have to stop there, because the path continues. Yes, so I want to tell you this, that build up your dharma in order to pay off your past and present karma. Keep killing the ego and doing alchemy. At some point, 5 years or longer, you come out of this wheel of samsara. After you come out of the wheel, your actions only produce dharma, as long as you don't let yourself fall inside the wheel again. And your egos regrow. Yes, whenever a person stops working on their egos, or they have a fall, the ego regrows, like the phoenix bird is born out of its ashes. I don't know if you have heard about that. Well, the ego goes through that process again. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that this is an important landmark along the path of the three mountains. Somebody asked me about, how much dharma we have to build up. It's not something that you can know, but this is important. If one day you see this big wheel and you are outside, it means that you have managed to come out of the wheel of returns. And again, I repeat, take a look at Arcanum number 10 in the book Tarot and Kabbalah of Master Samael for more information. Now, in my next picture, I want to give you my own interpretation of sacrifice for humanity. I understand that the sacrifice for humanity is the sacrifice of one's desires, interests, pleasures, so the egos, for the sake of duty, doing the right thing, or being shown what to do by our intuition and doing it, following, obeying, for the well-being of others or the benefit of others. So you sacrifice your egos, basically. You go killing them, and if you were not doing the internal work, you would egotistically say, why should I get involved, in anybody's, in helping anybody? So that's why I'm talking about sacrificing oneself and refraining the egos and getting involved into helping others. Now, in the astral, you are like the light bearer. And you have light inside yourself if you've been working in raising energy. And it's like you are holding the fire. And the phrase goes, raise your lamp along the path and light the way or the path for others as well. So this is what I mean, what I meant from my previous video, that you need to spread the teachings of, the Gnostic teachings, because other people are in darkness and they are waiting, for some light in their lives. Now, here are the basic laws regarding giving and receiving. If you give materially, material things, then you'll receive material things back in your life. So your material needs will be covered, like, clothing, furniture, housing. If you give spiritually, you'll receive spiritually. And this is important because one day you can get stuck along the path of the mountains. And at that moment, someone will help you and give you some spiritual knowledge that will help you stand up again on your feet and move on and start ascending the mountain again. So this has happened to me, that every time I felt lost regarding how the path goes, and I would receive from some Gnostic instructors and material, I will contact and will say, you become friends, and then they just pass you lots of information. And this is this is really nice, because you can stand up again and continue walking, continue ascending. The path is very long, I can tell you now. Now, in my next picture, I tell you what happened one day. One day I was in my own flat separating clothes that I would give to charity. And I was there separating clothes, and as I was also working on a charity shop 1 or 2 days a week, I don't remember. And people think that when they give things, they think themselves being very kind. So I got confused about this, that they are being kind and they are giving their things. So that night I had a dream. In the astral, my Divine Mother clarified to me the difference between being kind and doing charity. And she said to me, we do charity when you give what you don't need anymore. And you are kind when you give something that you cherish and value in your heart. So that's for you to keep in mind when you think that you are doing charity, or you are being kind when you give things away. Now, and my last teaching today is from Master Jesus, that I need to quote this because it's very important. Sitting down, Jesus called the 12 disciples over to him and said, whoever wants to be the first must take the last place and be the servant of all. And trust me on this one, along the path you will be serving others. That is the place that I took along many years, and this is the right place. If you want to advance on the mountain and climb the mountains, you will be serving others at all times. Don't expect yourself to be, on top of the whole situation. No, you are here to serve all those who are around you and help them ascend, help them grow. Up to here, I leave you with this video, and I hope that you meditate on it. I don't expect you to agree with what I say. I'm just sharing my own experience of how I found things along the path. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.